Hi, my name is Wyatt. I just won the Las Vegas Genesys Regional playing DRYTRON. Just a quick shout out to all of my friends that came with me and my family back home. And as I promised, honey buns. I wasn't feeling very good this morning when I woke up, and one of those from the gift shop saved my life and made me able to play today. So, all right. So, yeah, so I'll just kind of dive real quick into this deck profile. So, DRYTRON hasn't really gained a lot of traction. The versions I've kind of seen float around in Genesys is people trying to use a little bit of some of the fairy support. So I played a all DRYTRON version of the deck. And so let me go into the one of names. There's one alpha, one beta, and then one of the Yearsarctic DRYTRON. Alpha's pointed at 33, so that is why. But you play a billion ways to get to alpha. So going into the 3 ofs, 3 Nutu, 3 Zeta, 3 Delta, 3 Gamma, and this deck doesn't have any kind of inherent normal summon, so I also played 3 Mathematicians that acted as 3 more DRYTRON Alphas. All right, so going into the spells, it was maxed out on as much consistency as possible. During testing, I was playing a lot more non-engine at first, and I ended up, finding that I was losing games to a DD Crow or a Skullmeister. And then the more and more I played, the more hands that I opened just a bunch of DRYTRON cards I was able to break boards with. So I just went to max out as much on names as I could. And so 3 Cyber Emergency, 3 Nova, and 3 Fafnir as well. I played 2 of the Ritual spell. Every version I've seen in Genesys has played 2, not 1. But I think it's extremely as crucial as it could be, honestly. So onto the Rituals. So I played 5 Rituals. So I played 1 Quadranids. I played 1 Meteorus Dragonids. And I played 3 Dad. This is another thing. A lot of the deck lists I've seen playing this, they play 1 or 2. I think 3 is crucially important. I think the best end board is to end on 2 of these. It's really good into a lot of the decks of the format, especially Blitzclick, because they blanket protection things. So if you can summon 2 of these, ending on these and a Fafnir, the Blitzclick cards can't destroy any of your DRYTRON cards. And so it's really hard for them to resolve any of their combos. But most importantly, these are really big and they can be hard to ritual summon. And so opening 2 is really, really good. Being able to just ritual summon 1 from hand to summon 1 from grave, or sometimes just summon the second one from hand. Then you can use some Fafnir material or any kind of extenders that you have to summon the second one. But I do think having 3 of these is crucial. I want to draw this card as much as I possibly could. All right, and so for the non-DRYTRON cards, played a DD Crow. I am playing the lure list that searches it. And then also I played 3 Book of Lunar Eclipse and 2 Lightning Vortex. One of the benefits that this deck has is they get to play versions like this where, Regeki, Dark Hole, they have points, Book of Eclipse has points, but since this deck doesn't really care about discarding, you kind of get the advantage of being able to play the unpointed versions of the cards just because they have a discard requirement. And so that is the main deck. And so going into the extra deck has a lot of doubles. You don't usually summon 2 of the same extra deck card, but I'll go into that real quick. So Fafnir is pointed at 33 points. This is, to me, the one that I really wish that they would have brought points down on. Alpha isn't as big of a deal because you have so many different cards that search it, but the second one of this is definitely a card that I found it's come up often. Most of my other points also go to Zeus. I think being able to have this while you're playing a lot of engine into boards is really good. You can force interrupts to stop you from putting out your big rituals that are hard for decks to interact with, and then once they're lower on resources, you can summon the Zeus. Or if they have a board that it's easy to kind of sneak a Zeus through and then you combo in main phase 2, that works as well. 2 Downward Magicians, 1 Utopic Future, 1 Ensembled Rabina. I don't think I ever summoned either of these. I summoned this pretty often to search the DD Crow. I did summon Futro and Nightingale to get to the Zeus lines. I'm going to save this one for last. And 2 Sylvan Princess Sprite. I ended up putting the second one of this because there were a couple of times where in testing I felt like I wanted the second one, but I never played the second one today. But the MVP of one of my rounds was Ripplebird. I was at a position where I was definitely going to lose to a Snake Eye matchup. I had no choice but to kill, and so I had 2 level 1s in defense, and I had 2 dads on the field, and there was a Snake Eye in defense, Snake Eye Ash in defense, and so I needed to be able to attack over monsters to get enough for game, and so summoning Ripplebird to boost both of the dads to 5,500 and turn that Ash into attack position, Snake Eye Ash into attack position, made it to where I was able to do just 100 over enough for game, was because I definitely would have lost on the clap back there. All right, now my side deck. So my side deck is pretty straightforward. It's 8 going second cards and 7 going first cards. I mean, you don't really normal summon a lot, so Lava Golem is kind of insane, as is Gordian Slicer. I would probably play a third one, but it's because my 7 going first cards are kind of particular, and I'll get into that in a second. Also, Twin Twister, the same theory as the Book of Lunar Eclipse and the Lightning Vortex. You don't really care about discarding, so you get to play kind of some, broken versions of cards that other people have to point out for their deck. So, I played 7 going first trap cards. So I played 2 Mind Crush. This was mainly for Blitzclick. I didn't end up playing against Blitzclick, so I don't think this ever really went in. But in theory, it's really good against Blitzclick if you have to end on a half board. Say, sometimes you have to summon the Fafnir before you can summon Dad, and they get to crackle it. Having this for just, if you have just a Dad or maybe 2 Dads on the field, then you have the Mind Crush that can really hurt their turn. 2 Daruma Cannon, just a generally good going first card, as is Dracotail Flame. Most of the time you were putting 5 in, usually it was these 4 and this. And so what I did here, because these had varying matchups, is my 7th card is a Trap Trick. So essentially I'm playing 3 copies of each of the traps. And so that was the spread over. I think I drew Daruma Cannon once, I drew Dracotail Flame once. I technically drew Trap Trick, but it got banished from my hand in the draw phase. And so, but yeah, that's the deck. It played really, really well. It's just, most of your hands, you're drawing 4 or 5 consistency cards, and if you play it right into the boards and understand where the interruptions are, that can be enough.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other shout-outs you'd like to do?
No, again, just everybody that came with me, and everybody at home, my family, parents, siblings, wife, daughter, all of that, all of the support, and them letting me come play Yu-Gi-Oh! First off, and so yeah.
Plan on going to Nats?
Yeah, definitely. This is now I have my Genesys and Advanced invite, so I'm going to try to get there a day early to play in both this year.
Fantastic. Well, all right, guys. This is the first time we're doing like deck profiles and stuff like that. I want to try to do more in the future, so subscribe, like, all that fun jazz. This is Aether Realms. Peace.